Hey guys, Steven, the Salon Guy here, and I've got Erica with us today. You may have been seeing Erica in some videos, but she's part of my team. She's super awesome. And she has all of this beautiful hair right here. So what we're going to do in today's video, which is really exciting, is I want to show you guys, and this happens a lot with women and them wanting to keep all the length in their hair and creating somewhat of a nice layered shape to kind of work into the length that just really enhances what they already have. So we're going to kind of do a little more of a step-by-step video. She does need, maybe an inch or two off the length because it's really dead on the ends. So she's not really going to lose a lot of the hair length, but I just want to kind of show you a little more in depth of what her hair looks like now. Okay, guys. So as you can see, the hair length comes, even further down than the camera can show, but it's pretty far down here, and we're going to cut maybe, like I said, maybe an inch or so, inch and a half off the length to really clean up the ends. But what we're really going to notice is in through here. So this is a great, perfect scenario for somebody who has, no real layers, and if they are, they're really kind of grown out. But she has all this hair in through here that's really long. So I want to create like an angle starting from around here and work it down into the length so that when she wears her hair a little bit more curly or wants to scrunch it, she'll get more movement and shape in through here. And it's going to really be like a night and day difference. So we're going to get Erica's hair washed, and then we'll come back and we'll get the cut started. Okay guys, so now we're going to start with Erica's hair. The first thing I'm doing is I'm spraying 25 in, which is my newest product, and this is the first product to have 25 hair benefits in it. I'm telling you, this is like a lifesaver, this product. And Erica, you've been using this product, right? Yeah. Do you love it?
I do, I really do.
So I just want to show you guys, look at her hair, right? Look how long her hair is. And there's some serious kind of knots going on in here. So a few great key benefits to this as a professional stylist is that this is used as a detangler and a cutting lotion. So it helps keep the hair nice and moisturized. So I'm instantly feeling how nice this is becoming, very, very silky. It's literally like spraying on the most amazing hand lotion on your hands, and you're just like, oh my God, my hands, that's what it does. And her hair feels great already. So it helps detangle, like almost instant detangling. And you see I'm combing right through her hair. Now it may look like not much is going on here. It's so simple. But look at this. And this is a girl who's got naturally wavy, kind of kinky hair, which has a tendency to knot right up, and in seconds, combed right through, right? Isn't that crazy? It's like, oh my, I've worked on people that have like serious, serious knots, and bam, in seconds. And also what this does, it's like an instant treatment for your hair. So I'm already seeing her hair, it's got more shine now. I'm seeing it looks healthier. This stuff, I'm obsessed with 25, and I highly suggest checking out. Even if you're a professional and you're like, hey, I want to try this stuff out, like, it's a lifesaver. So now we are ready to begin Erica's haircuts. And I'm going to do a little more of a step-by-step because I know you guys like step-by-steps, and you like hearing me, talk about this stuff. So she naturally has more of a side part. So the first thing I'm going to do, and with any haircut I do, is just literally comb the hair through to see kind of how it reacts to what I'm doing, and finding her natural parting, which is more towards the side this way. So finding the natural part is relatively, pretty simple, but she likes to flip it around sometimes on both sides, right, Erica?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I've seen her, it's always kind of gone over this way a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it to basically, I don't know if I'm down the middle or not. We're going to cut this, and I'm going to part this close to down the middle. And it doesn't really, as long as that when we're cutting the angles, everything is pretty much symmetrical. This way it'll allow her to kind of flip the hair around this side or this side. And creating these layers and face frame is really, really going to be essential. I'm creating the division point, which separates the front from the back, which is right here. And this is very, very basic, but I think it's really key in haircutting is to really give yourself a clear kind of vision of where you're cutting and what you're working with. So you can clip this out of the way if you want. You don't have to. I'm not always a big clip guy. I just push it out of the way like that. And then you do the same thing on the other side. And now we're going to start the base perimeter of the entire haircut. Combing Erica's hair down, when you get to the bottom, you can really kind of see what needs to come off. So we're just going to comb this all straight down. Again, we want to be cautious of keeping the length, but a lot of the ends are just, kind of dead ends. So we need to really take up enough. That's going to make a difference for not only the haircut, but also for her hair to look healthy as well. So all we're literally doing is just cutting a straight line throughout the base perimeter in the back. All right, I'm doing it all in one section. Now, this is the first time I'm working through Erica's hair. She's one of those clients who has, the illusion of having so much hair, but in reality, it's a lot thicker than it appears. So I'm just taking this in one section all the way straight down. I don't have to take multiple sections. I'm using the fine teeth of the comb, and I'm just really making sure that the base throughout the back is exactly how I want it, and it's nice and clean. After we're done in the back here, we are then going to start to connect the sides. And then that's where really the magic happens, is creating the real kind of base foundational shape for the haircut. Now, if you were to just cut a haircut and leave just the base, and if that was really solid, you could still have a really nice haircut. That's why this is essential. Now it's time to work in, and this is where we connect the division point coming in through the back here. So I'm going to keep the camera right here so you can see, but now it's time to connect this part, the sides in through the back, okay? And I'm combing this all straight down. There we go right there, as you can see. Again, her hair is really long, so my hands and the camera is pointed like way down. We're working now towards the front part, and here is where we have to start determining where we're going to start our angle. Here we are in the front angle, and we're going to really work our fingers upwards. So again, this is the length where we have the corner right in through here. That is the length, and we have all this to kind of work with. So I'm going to start to position my fingers. Let's turn the camera a little more this way. I'm going to position my fingers to where I see the length in the corner, and then I know where I can start the angle. And that all is through hand positioning right here. And plus, the ends are really kind of dead there anyway. So now we're going to really just work up the head shape towards the front. So we have that length, but now we're just simply opening this up to create a much nicer kind of face frame and nicer angle. And the good thing about this is that it's not going to look short because we have all this length down here, but what it's going to do, it's going to kind of give her a little more movement throughout the front. And I'm going to take this slightly higher right in through here because we have a lot of room to work with. But her hair, even though it looks like a lot, it's a little more on the finer texture, and there we go. So here we have a nice soft movement right in through here, and it all works all the way down into the length. And if we wanted to go shorter, we can. She wants to maintain a lot of the length, so this is a good kind of introduction to creating some just soft shape. And again, we're just doing the foundation right here, so we have to go back in and create the layers on the top. But this is just like the core foundation of the haircut. So it will, we still have some hair to cut. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side and through here. And I'm literally standing right in front of where I need to cut. And once we have, I like to make sure I have the length first, the base length in through down here. And then we'll start to work upwards. Again, there's the bottom length, and we're going to work our fingers pointed on an angle now, pointed towards me, to create that layered and face frame cut right through here. And another great way to kind of match this up is you comb this down and you see where the last part is. So we're going to cut up this way. So now that we have this matched up, we can then keep it very balanced and even working towards this side. So now I'm going to comb this down here. I'm standing right in front, and we're just going to simply connect that little bit right there. Pretty simple. And really, if you notice where I'm standing, that's really, really essential to this haircut. And now I like to comb everything forward and down this way, because all that hair that's coming from here will help travel downwards. So when we're actually cutting the layers, not a lot of hair is going to need to come off, because we're creating a thicker shape right in through here. So let's comb this all down, make sure everything is good. Looking good here. And the good thing about this particular haircut, when you bring everything forward, is that you could see how everything is falling. So let's take the very, very front here. I'd like to take a little bit of a triangle right in the very front and comb this all straight down this way. So it's almost like you're creating like a section for a fringe. So you comb this all down, and if there's any parts that are a little bit longer, then this is a great place to start to balance it all out. And I like to keep my fingers kind of positioned together, and there we go. So we create that nice little balanced shape right in through here, and then that'll allow us to keep everything structured for both sides. So just a great way to cross-check everything. Again, my nickname is Uneven Steven, right? Nah. But this is how you keep it even. So don't be, if you see like hair that's just way off, or you have some longer pieces, you know, don't like jump off a cliff. It's okay, it happens. So that's where this comes in. That's what this is all about. It's all about the cross-checking. Now take everything forward once again, and this is where you just match it up and connect everything together. So it seems like it's really easy, but you really want to make sure that you are cutting a very balanced, structured haircut, especially for something like this. And this is, again, where the majority of the hair would be coming off, is this particular area right throughout the front. So we're bringing everything from pretty far back, coming down from here, because we're thickening the shape and we're creating the layers right from the front. So we're just going to finish this up right through here, and then we're going to work into the back layering. All right, I know it seems like there's a lot of room up here, but because Erica's hair is like 8 feet long, we have to, I want to show you guys the top section here. All right, so I'm taking a horizontal section. See, look at all that hair. It goes beyond even what the camera can show. That's how long her hair is. And this is the top of her head right here. So we're creating our first layer. And again, this layer right here, this piece, is currently all like one length. And there's not a lot of movement going on. So just keep in mind, wherever you cut, say for example you cut all that hair off, that means that this piece is going to travel to that part in the back. So you have to really determine, like, do you want to keep like really, really long layers? Do you want to go shorter? You also have to keep everything balanced to where the front piece is. So when you pull this up, you can see we have a lot of room to go from here to the shorter point right in through here. I'm going to turn this way a little bit. So as you can see, we have all this to work with. But this area right in through here is the top of her head. So this has to go shorter into longer. So we need to cut enough hair to keep a nice balance, but also enough hair that it's going to create, you know, some movement. So based off of that, we have a lot of hair that we can sacrifice. So we're going to cut that much off, which honestly, the end's needed anyway. So look, see how still long it is? But now we can drop that down, and that's going to be kind of our base for the layering. Now I'm going to take another section, and I'm going to comb this straight up again, and I'm going to cut to that one guide that we just cut. I'm just going to hold this down a little bit here so you can see. And there's our next section. So I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to take another section from the other side to kind of mirror what we just did, and combing it straight up. And here is where we're going to cut. So there's the guide from underneath, And when you comb this hair all straight up, you can really see how the ends like really needed this. So much better now. So now we have those 2 sections in the top back, which are done, and that's going to act as our kind of guide for the layers in the back, the middle of the back of the hair. So now we're going to move into that part. So I had to go super wide on this shot so you all can see. Again, here's the area that I was just cutting right in through the top back. So now we have the sections right in through here. And this is the part where we connect everything. So we're going to take a section right down the middle, and you want to make your section kind of thick enough to where you are seeing hair, but not too thin or too thick. You want to make sure that you have a really good clean section that you can see where you're working. So I'm literally going right down the middle, and I'm going to pick up right where we left off in through here where that piece dropped out. So there, you can see right in through here is where we're cutting, and we're going to continue that section all the way down throughout the bottom section. So I'm using the fine teeth, and that hair that's dropping out, that's the length, and you want to try to preserve that as much as possible. All right, so we're just literally building a good layered shape on top of that. Then I like to slowly just kind of work back up towards the top section in through here vertically, just to make sure that everything is well balanced and even. And there we go. So now we're going to take the next section right next to it, and I'm working towards this side of the head, combing it straight out from the head. This is literally straight out from the head shape. Following it down the natural way her hair grows, and there's not much needs to be cut off here, which is good. Next section, same thing. We're literally traveling this way. We're following panel by panel. That's the key to look at this, is they're panels. Now I'm trying to keep this in frame so you guys can see everything, and I'm at the same time trying to maintain a good body position. I'm combing the hair on top of the section, so I'm combing it towards me. And all those hairs that drop out, again, that's the length. So you don't want to really cut any of that. Because if you do, it's going to get really wispy and really fine on the bottom, and you don't want to do that. You just want to consistently keep moving around the head shape. And I know I mentioned before that we're not going to be cutting a lot of hair. We're trying to keep the length. But even though I've learned that cutting the hair can actually make the hair look longer, and it's every time I do haircuts like this, it's like, wait a minute, how does my hair look longer? It's because you're creating an illusion and a really nice balanced shape that is working together seamlessly. So it's going to create, an effect on the hair, which is going to make it look healthier. It's going to make it look longer. So I'm pushing that aside because we did that already. But keep in mind, we still have the other side to do. So I'm giving it a nice comb on both sides just to make sure. And again, if you noticed, one or two little knots here and there, but this combs right through. There's the part that we need to cut. And I'm now working this down towards the bottom because, again, we want to keep it well balanced and remove any of that excess weight. Next section, we're stopping right behind the ear. That's where we're going to kind of stop, because that is where the division point is, which separates the front from the back. So now I'm combing on top of the section as well, just to make sure that that surface layer and that surface section is combed throughout, because we don't want any hidden pieces. But there we go. Let's do one more section right behind the ear. So I'll show you guys right there. This is the area that we're working in. And you can give it a nice comb through on the bottom. Push that out of the way. And this is what happens when her hair texture dries, has a tendency to natural dry. If it's not really combed through enough, then it'll start to kind of knot a little bit. But that's where these layers are going to help big time. All right, following the same haircut throughout the entire thing. And now the back is done. So we're going to give it a nice, let me just kind of zoom in a little bit here so you can see. All right, so just want to show you guys the movement in the haircut. Again, you don't want to see a lot going on as far as, you know, it looking like there's layers, and that's the great thing about layers, and look how much healthier that looks now. So the thing about layers that are really, really done properly is that you don't really see them, okay, but they're there. You don't want to see steps in the haircut. That's really, really the worst thing you can do. But just from this visual right here, we've got the length, we've got a lot of movement. If she wants to scrunch it, you know, it's definitely going to help as far as the shape of it. So now we're ready to connect the layers into the top part. All right, so I have to go super wide again because her hair's so long, and I want you guys to really see everything that I'm doing. So this is where we took our first horizontal section in the back. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a vertical section and we're going to cut towards the face. And we're going to connect the back part right here in through the top. Now, a lot of times I'll see people go right in and take a horizontal section, cut it straight up, and cut that off. Instead of doing this, and what I've noticed is that that actually creates another layer in the hair, which then means, and I learned this the hard way many, many years ago, which then means you have to reconnect and blend the whole thing because you have this like shelf of a layer just sitting here that's not connected. So I like to follow the natural head shape. Look how long that is. And we're going to cut that straight across this way. So now we're connecting this in through this. And then once we have that done, then you're free to take horizontal sections because you have the guide. That means the back is completely done. You do not need to cut anything else from that point. So there is the guide. There's the length in the back. And now we're just working that in. I'm going to take one more section right in through here. And you want to go to about the corners of the head. You don't want to go past the corners too much because that's where we will go back and cut that cornered length. So now that we have that done, it's time to now cut this moving forward horizontally. So we're going to work right down the middle panel, and we're going to comb everything straight up from the head, and here we go. So again, this might take a little bit longer for you because she's got longer hair. So if you're working with a client who's got really long hair, then it's okay. The 25 spray really helps because I am able to get through it. Even though there are a couple of little knots here and there, I'm able to comb pretty much right through it. So here, I'm cutting that straight across now. We still have the length, but we're cutting it straight across. And we're going to do probably 2 more sections in the very, very top this way. Because again, a lot of what we did in the beginning, we kept pulling everything forward. What we were doing was actually a lot of the work by making sure that everything was, you know, kind of pre-layering it. So there's not really a whole lot of hair to come off. And then last piece right in the very, very front is you comb everything straight up. Now I am going to probably go back in and kind of re-wet her hair a little bit with a spray bottle just because her hair type wants to dry quickly, and I do like to cut wet into dry, but you know, when it starts to get a little bit more textured and, you know, frizzes up and stuff like that, or gets a little bit more natural texture kicks in, it's okay to go back in and kind of tame it down. So the top middle is done, and what we're doing now is literally going to take vertical slices working downwards this way, and we're going to connect this part with the rest of the haircut. This is why I wait to the end, or I do this part separately, because even though it's like you come across it when you're cutting, it's still a whole different part of the hair, of the head shape. So there's the corner right there, and we're just going to cut that to make sure everything is well balanced. And that's what's going to help give it that flow when styling it. And it's going to help the haircut grow out nicely. And also combing kind of curly or wavy hair will do that too. You get some knots in it, it's normal. All right, so we're probably gonna take 1 or 2 more sections working towards the very, very front. And as you can see, I'm taking this all kind of in one section to start. And here is the corner. Just a little bit that needs to come off there, a slight little bit, not a lot. Work this all the way down to the bottom. Again, if the hair wants to drop out from the shape or the section, that's fine, because that's the very, very length, but you don't want to cut that again. And here's the very, very last bit in the front, which, again, you want to be gentle when you're combing. You don't want to hurt the client. But this is where we're going to see if anything really needs to come off in the front section. And not a lot, because we spent so much time creating that face frame that the shape is pretty much already done. All right, so we're going to duplicate the same thing on the other side, and we'll probably skip through this because it's literally mirroring the same thing. But I just want to show you how I cut this, and I'm literally standing now in front of her because I want to be able to keep a good solid body positioning and not put myself in an awkward situation, especially being that her hair is so long. I'd be literally like, I'd break my back if I went the other way and tried to cut over the top. It would just be so uncomfortable. So that's why I think body positioning is really, really key. So let's finish this up here. We're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to make sure everything is kind of connected and blended throughout the entire top. So both sides are done, the corners are done, and I like to do one last thing just to make sure that we are all even and all balanced throughout the entire top of the haircut. And I like to take a vertical section right down the middle. And again, her hair is really long, so if it's difficult to comb through it, it's fine just because the hair is long. So I'm literally combing straight out from the head, and all I'm doing is just making sure that these two sides are blended in and connected together. And that's literally just taking the section, combing it straight up, and it looks like everything is good. So that's a good sign. I can't believe, Erica, we did it in one shot. All right, so let's put the scissors down. I'm just gonna kind of re-wet the hair a little bit with my this is my new product, everyone, called water, all right? It came out millions of years ago, and the one thing that Erica has to put up with when she's here is my bad jokes, so I apologize. So I'm just gonna kind of re-wet this so I can really comb through it. And if you find a lot of knots coming from it now, it's just because we've been combing and combing and combing, so the hair is kind of jumping all over the place. So we still have that 25 in her hair, so it's gonna kind of be a little bit reactivated with the water, so we're just combing through everything once again. Her hair, I can tell you right now, feels so much healthier and so much better as far as just the thickness of it, the way that everything just feels like. I think I actually did a mistake because I made her hair thicker now. But now, as you can see here, let's pan the camera down. As you can see, look how much healthier and thicker her hair looks. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's a lot of good movement to it. Again, the length is still there. We have some good shape in it. And let's bring the hair forward like that. As you can see, it looks really, really nice. So what I want to do is I want to blow dry it and create a nice soft shape to it. You can literally just leave the hair like this and let it air dry. You know, I always suggest putting some products in it beyond, you know, if you want to really enhance the curl, put some products in it so as it air dries, it really kind of brings out the shape a little more. But what we're going to do is we're going to blow dry it so you can see what it looks like straight. All right, now I'm going to blow dry Erica's hair, and I'm going to use the round brush, and I'm just going to really create a nice, smoother shape with a little bit of movement to it. So we're going to fast forward through this, and we'll see you when we're done. All right, guys, so Erica's hair is now done, and I finished the blow dry, and I just did little kind of twist sections to give a little bit of more movement to it. So bring your head back a little bit. This is what I do for my money shot here. And she hasn't seen this yet, so head back more. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to rake this all back away from her face. And I'm going to show you guys the grand. Eric, you haven't seen it yet, right? Okay, ready? Now when I bring it all forward, you can look and see. Okay, ready? And action. Look at that, huh? Well, she really loves it. She's speechless. All right, so as you can see, now we can just kind of loosen this up a little bit and turn this a little bit more. Very, very pretty, very exotic, and a lot more bounce, a lot more movement to it. And if she wants, she can flip it around, you know, to give it that kind of more of that voluminous, sexier type flow. Let's go this way. Look at all that movement and that bounce and that shape in it. Very, very.
A lot of more bounce.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm just really working my hands through to help kind of defrizz a little bit and bring that shape in. Yeah, let's go this way so we can see. Turn this way. Very, very nice. Now I know on camera her hair is, you know, she's got really dark hair, so it might not be showing up as much, but it's got great shape to it, great movement. Now we can flip it over this way. You know, the way I cut this, she's got a lot of options as far as wearing it over a variety of different ways, you know, which is really nice too. Let's do this standing up. All right, everyone, I just want to show you the finished result of her standing up. And this way you can really see the flow of it all. And she's already saying let's turn this way a little bit, how much bouncier it is. Let's bring it in the back here turn. So as you can see, you know, we kept the length, but now it's got more movement for the curls to kind of, the natural curl to bounce around. Let's keep turning, keep turning. Yeah, it looks great all the way around. Perfect. Yeah, very, very sexy. I'm talking about myself. So what do you think, Erica?
I love it. It looks so much healthier. I love it just looks great. I love it.
She didn't trust me at first. She goes, I'm never letting a bald guy cut my head. So I intentionally shaved part of her head back here. She doesn't know about that, just to get back at her. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it looks like a lot more dynamic. There's like a lot more going on instead of it just like hanging. You know?
Yeah. What do you think of the layers in the front and stuff, you know?
Yeah,
it's still long, but just like more movement, you know?
It gives it like a healthier, like cleaner look, like nice finish. Like actually like a done cut instead of just like hanging.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, guys, let's come back a little bit more this way because she's 6'5" and I'm 4'3". So I don't know what's going on with but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. You're going to be seeing more of Erica. Hopefully, you know, she's on my team. She's really amazing. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time for more videos with the Salon Guy.